This bench is $199. And I actually benched better on it than I did last week on a more expensive bench. Which doesn't make any sense. Because this is exactly the kind of bench that should hold you back. So we trained on it, we measured it, and we compared it to what we actually kept. Because we didn't know if this thing was going to be safe
at all.
Over the last year, we've tested adjustable benches from $350 all the way up to $700. Different price points, different builds, different promises. We sold most of them. This is the one we actually kept. The Keppi Bench 6000X. It's around $600 to $700 depending on when you catch it. It's got a heavy frame, attachments that actually work, and a locked-in that feel that none of the others could match. And then this showed up. $199, folding headrest, preacher curl attachment, leg extension, 8-position backrest, and 3-position seat. On paper, it has more features than benches at twice the price. The closest bench to this feature to feature would be the RitFit Gator, and that runs $350 to $400. So we bought it with our own money, no sponsorship, no brand input. Just two people who already know what the good stuff feels like, testing whether a $199 bench can actually get you there. This is from WFLGFT, which doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Assembly took less than an hour, and honestly, the packaging was better than a $199 bench deserves. Heat-sealed plastic around the box, seat pads and bubble wrap sleeves, not just loose wrap. Somebody actually thought about how this thing was going to arrive. First sit, it's a bench. The pad is firm enough, but the vinyl is immediately noticeable. It's not grippy. Your shirt is going to slide on this.
The padding is fine. It's sturdy, but yeah, this vinyl, it's slippery smooth.
And the foam on the arm and leg pads is soft, like noticeably cheap soft. You can feel the difference the second you touch it.
Yeah, this is really soft.
And it doesn't stand vertically for storage. So if you're tight on space, this thing lives wherever you're going to put it. All right, let's see what we're working with. It's 2 millimeters across the entire frame. We're looking at 2 millimeter steel. I mean, now the adjustment dials are thicker. We're seeing 4 millimeters here, 6 millimeters here, depending on which dial you're measuring. So they did reinforce the stress points, which is smart. But 2 millimeters on the main frame, that's how they get it down to $199. For reference, the RitFit Gator, which does almost everything this bench does, is running 50 by 70 millimeter reinforced steel at nearly double the price though. There is a different class of material here. That doesn't mean it's unsafe. It just means there's a ceiling to what you should expect from this bench long term. So we're going to find out where that ceiling actually is. Here's the real test. We didn't just sit on this thing and wiggle it. I ran my actual program on it. Smolov Jr, 10 sets of 3 at 190 pounds, but using VBT. And honestly, it held up. Flat bench loaded 30 reps across 10 sets, no scary noises, no shifting, no moment where I thought I was going to actually die. Remember when I said I benched better on this? Here's the actual data. I track every set with velocity-based training. Every rep gets a bar speed reading, and my numbers on this bench were fast. Like fast enough that by set 3, my velocity told me to jump up to 200 pounds on a $199 bench that I wasn't sure was safe just 24 hours ago. I'm adding weight because the bench isn't fighting me. That's not nothing. I mean, okay, that's not nothing.
True, that's not nothing. It's sturdy. and I don't hate it.
Now, is it the same as pressing on the Keppi or one of our rep benches? No, you can feel that gap flat benching. The Keppi and the reps are heavier, denser, more planted. And when you're under real weight on the Keppi, the bench disappears. The reps, you don't even know you're on one. You're just pressing. On the WFL GFT, you know you're on a lighter bench. It's not unstable, but it's present. You're aware of it. Is that a deal breaker at $199? Honestly, no, it's not. At $600? Absolutely. Incline was the same story. We loaded it up, pressed, and it did what it was supposed to do. No surprises. The open spine ladder clicks in and holds position. It's not a closed ladder system, but it works. We ran seated military press with the headrest folded down. Clean overhead pressing, no obstruction. The bench held steady. That's the folding headrest actually earning its spot, not just being a spec sheet feature.
I used the headrest folded down for chest supported rows, and it worked. It held, it didn't move, and the fold gives you a good angle for it. I like folding headrests on benches, and this one, it does what it's supposed to.
So how does it compare to what you've used to use?
It's solid, I like it. For its price point, it does a good job.
Let's talk about the features, because on paper, this is where the WFL GFT punches way above its weight class. Feature for feature, the closest bench to this is the RitFit Gator. Both have the folding headrest, the preacher curl attachments, and the multi-position adjustability. Same playbook, but this is half the price. The folding headrest, 7 positions, it folds to 90 and 180 degrees. Functionally, this works the same way as the Gator and the Bastet 2.0. Fold it down, you've got a shorter bench for overhead work. Fold it up, you've got neck support for incline. Perrin used it for chest supported rows off of the RitFit Gorilla, and it held fine. It does what it should. The arm and preacher curl attachment, this is where it gets interesting. The way this adjusts is better actually than the Gator and the Keppi 6000. It's a pop pin system. That's more secure than the Keppi and way faster than the RitFit's spin the arm in type thing. That's it, it's on. So this is how it connects for arm movements. And this is easily the best we've seen and tested. The cheapest bench in this group wins. But the pad itself does sit recessed below the bench pad, which is the same problem the Gator had. The Keppi sits flush, which is why we kept it. And when you're doing curls, that flush position feels significantly better. Your arm angle is more natural. Your elbow sits where it should. The WFL GFT solved the adjustment and missed the positioning. And when you're not using them, they store on the bench with 2 pop pins in the leg roller attachment, which looks kind of cool, but honestly, they're in your way when you're normal pressing. They're right there. I'm not leaving them on, so they end up on the floor every section. That's this bench in a nutshell. They get one part perfect, and the other part, it's a freaking head scratcher.
For me, the recessed pad isn't as noticeable. The adjustment is easy, and I can change it fast. The foam is soft, but I really like it soft. And it works during the set.
Now, the foam on these pads are cheap. It feels cheap. You know it the second you touch it. But here's the thing, it didn't actually affect the curl. The pad compresses a little. You feel the base, but the rep was fine. So is it a worse pad? Yes. Does it matter? Not as much as I thought it would. The foot roller uses what looks like a pop pin, but it's actually a bolt you freaking screw in. Every time you want to adjust it, you're threading a bolt. On a bench with this many adjustment points, that's a strange choice. It slows everything down. And the foot roller itself has limited positions. So the leg roller attachment works, but it's not a lockable ladder system. It's a threaded bolt. And it's a functionally fine thing, but it's a really weird design choice. The $199 shows up here. 8-position backrest and 3-position seat work fine. The spine is an open ladder, not closed like what you would see on a rep bench, but it clicks and holds. I've got no complaints on the adjustment range at all. So here's where we land on this. The WFL GFT is a $199 bench that performs like it costs more than the $199. Under actual training volume, real weight, real programming, it held up fine. Flat bench, incline, overhead presses, curls. Our velocity numbers proved it. And that's not opinion, that's data. But every time you touch something, adjust something, or look closely at something, the $199 shows up. The vinyl isn't grippy. The foam pads feel cheap, and the foot roller is awkward. The leg roller is questionable, and it doesn't stand vertically for storage. Now, 2mm steel on the frame. That's where you cut corners to get to the price at $199. The closest comparison on this bench is the RitFit Gator. Same features, same layout, nearly double the price. And honestly, for what this bench does at $199, the Gator has a problem because you're getting the same feature set for half the money. So if you're starting from nothing and this is your first real bench and you need something that adjusts, has attachments, and won't collapse on you, for $199, this is a lot of bench. You're going to be able to train on this. Now, if you've been lifting for a while and you know what a $400, $500, or $600 bench feels like, you're gonna notice the difference. The flat bench feel has a gap, the pads are a step down, and the fit and finish isn't there. Whether that matters to you depends on how much those details actually affect the training that you're doing. So, and if you've already spent $400, $500, or $600 on a bench, and you're watching this right now wondering, fuck, did I overpay? You didn't. What that extra money bought you is stuff you stopped thinking about. Thicker steel, better pads, tighter tolerances, a bench that disappears when you're under the bar. And that's what you're paying for. But after testing this one, we can tell you exactly where the money went. So what's your take on this bench?
So if you are just getting started and you are looking for a bench that does a lot for a little amount of money, this is perfect for you. It works. And honestly, I was surprised at how well it works, but I really liked it, actually.
So this gives you the experience of a $600 bench until you start touching things. Just know what you're getting and what you're not. If this helped you figure out whether this bench is right for your setup, drop a comment, let us know what you're actually working with. Links are going to be in the description on everything that we discussed. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.